Hello, everyone. My name is Ed Cashmark, and I would like to welcome you to today's presentation on 101 ways to stay sane during unemployment. Before I get started, I just want to mention and clarify that this presentation is not about how to get a job. Let me repeat, this presentation is not about how to get a job. It is about how to stay sane while you are looking for a job and how you can keep yourself, so to speak, above the fray. In other words, keep your emotions and your psychological well-being in check such that you don't get too high and you don't get too low with your emotions and your state of mind. Uh, these things really, really, really helped me along the way. And even though I personally have not found a job yet, I'm still struggling just as all of you are, but for a little bit different reason. I lost my job before the pandemic. Many of you are now looking for jobs uh, since you've lost them during the pandemic, but I was going through this before the pandemic. So, um, hate to say it this way, but I actually have a little bit more experience than you do in going through all of the emotions and difficulties and the struggles you're going through. And so because of that, I wanted to share some of the things that helped me and some of the things that I learned along the way so that your journey through this horrible thing called unemployment will be hopefully at least a little bit more bearable. Now, I'm going to share my story real quickly before I get into the 101 ways. From 1990 to 1994, I was in school at the University of Minnesota for economics and graduated with a BS in economics in 1994. From 1994 to 2002, I picked up some financial services jobs. None of them were great. None of them were really career related, so to speak. They were pretty much just ways to pay the bills because from 1994 to 2004, I was heavily involved in the music industry. When I was in high school, I was lucky enough to make it to be selected to be a member of the McDonald's All-American High School Band playing saxophone. Only two people out of each state got to go, and I was one of them from Minnesota. And I was playing music and practicing music on a kind of a side basis while I was studying physics and economics in college. So when I graduated from college in 1994, I hit the music scene hot and heavy. Over 10 years, I was in 25 bands. I recorded 2 CDs, one with a band and one with my own project. And I got several songs on the radio, some of mine, some of my other band, and played in several jazz festivals and opened for some rather large, well-known bands. One of the biggest ones was Average White Band from the 1970s. That song, Pick Up the Pieces. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that song, but very well-known song and very popular band in the 1970s, kind of funky. And so we got to open for them twice. That was a real big deal. So that was my life from 1994 to 2004. And in 2004, it all came to a screeching halt when my band and I parted ways. 2004 to 2008, I was heavily involved in pursuing an MBA in finance from the University of Minnesota. And I graduated with that degree in 2008. 2008 to 2012 was primarily the financial crisis, as well as the fact that my bank, which will remain nameless, but you can probably find it easily online, just Google my name. My bank bought another bank. Both banks were very large, saved that bank from basically going out of business, and our economics teams merged. In 2012, I was told that after our executive assistant was fired for no reason, and another one of our people left, And finally, my supervisor resigned. I was the only person left in the office in Minneapolis. And they said, well, you can either move to Charlotte or take severance. So I took severance. And that is a very good thing and a very bad thing. There's such a thing called the curse of severance. And if any of you are on severance right now, you might know what I'm talking about. And it's about 2 weeks after I lost my job, my former band leader, Big Walter Smith from Big Walter Smith and the Groove Merchants, a Minnesota blues legend, passed away. So there I was, unemployed and at a funeral for my beloved former band leader. In 2015, my best friend died from colon cancer after about a year and a half of, a little over a year of a battle. Very, very difficult time. 2017, I joined my local church choir, which was strange because I had never sung in my life in any choir, never taken a singing lesson in my life, but I am musically inclined, so I went to go see a Brazilian piano player play that night, or one night in March 2017, and took a picture. It was a great picture. I went to the reception afterwards, showed the picture, and one of the people in the choir showed it to the choir director, and he liked the picture, and we got to talking, and I told him I was a saxophone player, and he said, you ever thought of being in a choir? I said, no, I don't sing. Well, about 3 weeks later, I went in, tried out for about a minute, sang a few notes, and he said, you're a bass singer, let's go. So I went into practice and met some new people and been in the choir ever since. It's been a real joy and it's been real great. And very, very strange, again, because I never thought I would be in a choir. I guess it's a gift, and I say that very, very, with very humbly. So I found out I could sing, so now I'm singing in the church choir. And as you can see on the notes here too, later that year, my father passed away very suddenly. Went up to his cabin one day, never came back. Mom got worried 2 days later. She called some friends up north by the cabin, went looking for him and found him lying in his cabin all by himself, passed away. I was mortified. And of course, during that time, that was really about the time that I was just starting to think about putting together my own economics, research and analysis and speaking business. And that year I had 2 freelance presentations that I gave that made me a little money. And I was just about ready to go ahead and put more effort into that. And then my father passed away, and that pretty much killed that. Took the winds out of my sails and threw me for a loop, and I was in a bad place for quite a while. And all throughout this time, from 2012 to 2020, there were other funerals, people that I knew, people that were related to me, people that were related to people that I knew, so on and so forth. In all, I believe there was 11, maybe even 12 funerals that I went to in 8 years after losing my job and after depleting most of my life savings. Anyway, during that time, I did some skill building. Of course, I was looking for jobs. Took a bunch of, a ton of online courses. I'm talking 50 or 60 or so. Some of them were short, 5-6 hours. Some of them were long, 2 or 3 weeks. Some of them were really long, a couple months. The vast majority of them were free or very cheap, like around $25 or so. There were a few courses, though, that I took that were much more expensive than that because they were kind of top line programs. They weren't just these freebie things. They were more of these courses like, how to start your own business, how to share your knowledge, how to get a job in certain careers and some things like that. I learned a lot, but some of them were more expensive than others. Did an awful lot of networking, went to a lot of events where I did a lot of networking, watched a bazillion webinars on everything from economics, finance, politics, religion, skill building, career management, preparation, job search, and you name it. Took some personal development courses and did an awful lot of searching, not only for jobs, but also for myself. When you've been unemployed as long as I have, you do a lot of soul searching and a lot of self searching. So as you can see, over the last 30 years here, there have been a few good things, but an awful lot of struggles for me. And I only share this with you because I know you're struggling too. So this shows you that I, like you, have been through an awful lot of struggles. And during this time, we keep hearing this slogan, we're all in this together. Well, as far as unemployment and as far as the people that are watching this presentation today, you and I and everyone else watching, we are in this together. We're in the same boat. We're going through the same struggles. We're having difficulty finding ourselves, finding our next opportunity, finding a job or a career or a purpose or a calling or a mission or a reason for living or a reason for getting out of bed in the morning. We're all searching for that. Maybe some of us are searching just not too hard, but others are searching real deep. But all in all, it's a very difficult time for a lot of people. So that's why I put this presentation together today. I hope that wasn't too long of my story, but I wanted to lay the groundwork for where I'm coming from and why I put this together. So let's get to it. Oh, I forgot one more point. Yeah, 2020, COVID, massive worldwide unemployment, and a lot of people passing away. So that is, and that is really what got me to think about putting this presentation together, because I thought, well, I know so much about getting through unemployment, and now there are more people unemployed right now than probably in history, at least in modern history, going all the way back to the Great Depression. So, and a lot of people are hurting from losing a lot of loved ones. I lost my uncle to COVID, and I've had a few relatives contract the virus too. So I feel your pain, both on the job side, the unemployment side, and the death side. So, okay, so let's get to it. I like to call these the 10 commandments of how to survive unemployment without going insane, or how to stay sane during unemployment. Top 10 commandments are these. Number 1, be thankful for everything you have. Gratitude. I cannot tell you how important this is. I have lost a lot of things, a lot of money, a lot of pride, a lot of self-esteem, and a lot of people in my life over the last several years. But just being thankful for what I have left has really helped me get through this very difficult time. Number 2, learn new skills. Aptitude. You absolutely need to understand that from the second you walked out of your place of employment for the last time, you could quite possibly have become close to, if not totally, obsolete to the labor market, to the economy. I had a very good job, and I knew Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft, a little bit of Microsoft Access, Microsoft PowerPoint, and Microsoft Outlook. I knew how to use Bloomberg, and I knew how to use what was called economy.com. It was a website that was used for doing research and analysis on the economy. And I learned, before I lost my job, I learned some public speaking skills through Toastmasters. That was it. And I was making a good living. I could not believe for the life of me how difficult it was and how difficult it has been to find a new job simply because I didn't have the skills required. Again, a BS in economics, an MBA in finance, and the Microsoft Office suite, and very good public speaking skills. I couldn't find a job because there were so many new skills out there that were required that I didn't have. So I'm warning you right now. I don't care how long you've been unemployed, a day, a week, a month, a year. If you haven't been learning new skills, you have got to start doing that. And we'll get into that more as we go along. Number 3, learn and try new things. Not only learn new skills, but learn and try new things. And I'll share some ideas on that. I consider that curiosity. Number 4, be good to yourself. Attitude. You have to have the right attitude to get through this difficult time in your life. You cannot let yourself get too far down. You cannot let yourself feel like you're completely worthless or not useful to anyone or anything or any company. Even though I have been through that, I have been able to catch myself, as it were, from going too low. And the tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you are what helped me to do that. Number 5, be good to others. Compassion. It's well known that helping other people and doing good things for other people can help offset any negative emotions or thoughts in your mind as you're going through a difficult time. And we'll look into ways that you can do that as well. Number 6, get out of the house. Adventure. It's kind of a tough one to take right now, but even though we are in a pandemic, and at this point, as of this recording, not only is it winter, but I'm looking outside my window and it's probably one of the worst blizzards I've seen in years. And but you can still get out of the house. You can go places. If you're religious, you can go to church. Some places, maybe you can't. Get out of the house, go do a little grocery shopping if you need to, or go sledding down the hill, or go snowmobiling if you have one, or go ice fishing, or in the summer, go biking or something, swimming or something. We can go through many ways as to how to get out of the house, but it's very important to get out of the house. Otherwise, you'll find yourself feeling like you are trapped, and maybe even worse, like you're in prison. I felt that way many times, even before the pandemic. When you're unemployed and you don't have that social network anymore, either because you don't have any more coworkers or because some of your friends have kind of fallen by the wayside because, the stigma of being associated with somebody unemployed is real. So you will find that some of your friends are going to kind of fade away a little bit. Only your best and true friends will stick with you. Number 7, keep a tight budget. Frugality. It's very important that while you're looking for a job, you pull back on as many things that are not necessary as possible. Keep your budget only, and I truly mean only, to things that are absolutely necessary, except for maybe 1 or 2 things that you want to do or want to have that will put a smile on your face, put a little joy in your life, keep you happy, keep you above the fray, keep your mindset positive. You have to do that. Even though you're living on a very tight budget, you do have to treat yourself once in a while. That's very important to do that. Like I said in number 4, be good to yourself. But keeping a tight budget is very important because you have no idea how long what money you have is going to have to last. Number 8, network. I consider that brevity. Many people hate networking. I wouldn't say I hate networking, but it's not one of my favorite things to do. But it's interesting because sometimes I really don't feel like networking, and other times I have no problem with it. Really, for me, when I go to an event, I have no problem networking. For me, the issue is, I have no problem meeting people. But for me, the issue is, okay, now what do I do with this name and this person that I just met? How can I, let's be honest, how can I get them to help me find a job? That's what you're doing. You're trying to get them to help you find a job. But even though that's really truly what you're trying to do, that's not how you should think of it. You should think of it as developing a relationship and being helpful to them so that when you may need some help, they will be helpful to you. If it's all about you, if it's all about I need, you are not going to get any help from your network, and nobody will even want to talk to you because it puts a burden on them. So when you network, um, you have to do it the right way. Number 9, control your emotions, stability. That's what this is all about, really, controlling your emotions. Because if you don't do all the things, or at least some of the things that I talk about in this presentation, you are going to find yourself in a very dark place. And I have found myself in a very dark place. But I will say, I have not found myself in as dark a place as one would think I would be for being unemployed so long and having gone through so many difficulties over the last several years that I just showed you in my story. And it was because of the things that I'm going to share with you that I stayed out of the dungeon, so to speak. Finally, I highly suggest turning to God. If you're not religious, think about it. If you are religious, do more. If I'm going to share with you the things that I did for my religion. You can take it for what it is for your religion, or if you really want, you can just close your eyes, plug your nose, and close your ears, and or stop listening at that point in time at the end of toward the end of the webinar if you don't want to hear anything about religion. But I highly suggest you do, because again, this was one thing that really, really helped me. So, sometimes when people go through really tough times, they turn away from God because they're mad at him, or they don't believe he exists in the first place. Other people will turn closer to God because they know or believe that only by being closer to God can they get through the difficulty they're going through. I'm in the latter camp, and I hope that you will see that that is a good way to go. I'm not going to say it's the right way to go or the better way to go, but I'm going to say it's a good way to go, because I can't be, telling people that you must do this, but I'm going to suggest it. Okay, that's the top 10 commandments. So under each commandment, we have 10 things, so that's 100, and then the webinar will end with tip number 101. Okay, the first commandment, be thankful for everything you have. Gratitude. Here are 10 ideas. Number 1, be thankful for your life and your health, especially during a pandemic. Many people are losing their lives, or many people are contracting the virus and are not as healthy as they would like to be. Some other people are in some difficult situations health-wise where they can't get treatment because of all of the restrictions at hospitals and health clinics and other things like that. So be very thankful for your life and your health, even if you're in a tough situation. No matter what situation you're in, be thankful that you are still alive. Number 2, be thankful for your family. Your family will help you get through this. A good, strong family is obviously very helpful. A family that's not so strong and together, maybe it's time to mend some old fences, and maybe this difficult time will help to bring your family and you closer together, maybe even closer than you've been in quite a while, especially if they're going through some of the same things that you are. Number 3, be thankful for friends. Now, this can be a little tricky because, like I said, some people are going to stick with you and some people are going to fade away, and some people are going to completely leave your life altogether. And I've had all of those situations happen to me. But for what friends remain and for what friends stick by you, be very thankful. Number 4, money. Some of you might be in a very good situation. Some of you might be in an okay situation. Some of you might be in a dire situation. But whatever money you do have, like I said, spend it wisely, but also be very thankful for what you do have. Because unless you're on the brink of bankruptcy, I can tell you that there are billions of people all over this planet who have it much worse than you. There are people in this world that live in mud huts and eat dirt or or grass, or only have one set of clothes, or only get one meal a day, or don't have a TV or a car or a refrigerator or even a toilet. So whatever money you do have, be thankful that you have that and use it wisely. Number 5, food and water. Like I said, there are people around the world, and even people in this country, the United States of America, that don't have either enough food or don't have clean drinking water. So be very thankful for what food and water you have. Number 6, a shower, a bath, and a bathroom. Like I said, many people around the world don't have a toilet or a bath or a place to take a shower. Even homeless people in this country don't have a place to take a shower or have a nice, warm, clean bath. So be very thankful for that as well. Number 7, a phone. I'm sure most of you, if not almost every single one of you, has a smartphone. You can do many things on that. You can call people, you can email people, you can text people, you can do social media, you can look at the weather, you can look at the stock market, you can look at sports scores, you can do whatever pretty much you want to do on your phone. Be grateful that you have that phone and that it allows you to stay in touch with people and stay in touch with society. On the one hand, I would say don't stay on your phone too much because it can be addicting. Everybody knows that. But on the other hand, use it for what it is worth and for what it can do to keep you connected and to keep you happy. Number 8, TV and computer. Your TV and computer are, well, your TV is obviously a source of entertainment, but your computer is needed for obviously looking for a job, but also keeping in touch with people on email and social media and such. But also it's very important for learning skills. Like I said, there are tons of websites you can go to learn new skills, and your computer is vital for that. You might be able to do it on your phone or your iPad if there are some courses out there that allow that, but by and large, most of the skills you learn are going to be on your computer. Number 9, furniture. When you want to relax, you need a place to sit, or at least a place to lay down, or a place to go to bed at night. So if you have a chair or a couch or a bed or a table where you can eat your meal, be very thankful for those things. And number 10, a car or other forms of transportation. Obviously very important for getting to work. If you have any kind of job, whether it be a part-time job or a temporary job or a freelance job, or even if you have no job and you need a car to get around looking for work or to go places, to meet people, to be with people, a car is very important. So be thankful that you have a car or some transportation if you do have these things. So if you do have life and health or good health, strong family, good friends, money, food, water, shower, bath, and bathroom, phone, TV, computer, furniture, car, whatever you have of these things, be very, very thankful. And be thankful every single day. You might even want to walk around your house one day or once in a while, and just remind yourself what you do have. It will change your mindset. Commandment number 2, learn new skills. Aptitude. This is very important because you need to keep yourself relevant in the labor market while you're looking for a job. That's why being unemployed is so very difficult, because you not only have to look for a job, but you also have to train yourself on the skills for the next job you're going to get, as well as networking and going to events to meet people and applying for jobs and researching companies and interviewing with companies and so on and so forth. But learning new skills is very important. So what kind of skills can we learn? Well, I'm just going to pick out some that I've been working on or that I've seen on job descriptions for business-related jobs. Sure, most of you watching this are probably more business-related careers. So some of these may or may not be relevant for you, but let's see what we've got. Number 1, Excel. Many business jobs require Excel, which is a program to create spreadsheets. I'm sure everybody is familiar with it, but if you're not, Google it and start learning. There are many places to go to learn Excel. For all of these skills, you can pretty much just say, just type into Google, learn Excel or learn whatever skill you're looking for. And not only will you find a lot of different websites, but many of them will be free or very, very cheap. Number 2, Microsoft Word. Companies still use Microsoft Word for typing documents and job descriptions and reports and all kinds of things. So if you don't know how to use Microsoft Word yet, learn it. Number 3, PowerPoint. If you're not familiar with PowerPoint, this is a program that people use to give presentations. You create slides, you create charts and tables and graphs and bullet points. I'm using PowerPoint right now to create this presentation. Very, very high in demand skill that you would do well to learn if you don't know how to use it already. Number 4, Microsoft Access. This is a database management system that companies still use very, very widely. So if you don't know how to use Access, learn how to use Access. Number 5, Tableau. Tableau is a really cool data visualization program that allows you to create charts that are interactive, where you can use filters and sliders and drop-down menus and all kinds of things to filter out either charts or maps or tables or whatever, to look at the data that you want to look at as a subset of the whole data that's being presented. Again, you can do charts, line graphs, pie charts, any kind of chart you can imagine, and more. I've seen so many things on Tableau that just blow my mind. Just incredible things that people are doing with this program right now. It's easy to learn the basics. You can go on Tableau's website to learn it, but you can also learn it from other websites, and you can also find some, free sites, but you can also find some that are quite cheap. I'm talking like $20. Number 6, R. What is R? It's a letter. Well, R is actually a programming language that is used for statistical analysis and data analysis. Very widely used, and much more so now over the last several years. This is one program that I've been trying to learn. I would say it's not super hard to learn, but it's not super easy either, at least the basics. But then once you get into the more advanced courses, then obviously it gets more difficult. But you can learn it on your own. You can learn it for free. A great resource to learn R is a website called DataCamp, $25 a month. You can take as many courses as you want per month. A lot of DataCamp courses are 4 hours long, and you learn certain aspects of the programming language in different courses. I've taken probably about 30 courses learning R. Unfortunately, I haven't really used any of them because it's kind of hard to put together a project when you really don't know, you either don't have a reason or you don't know the ins and outs and the intricacies of using the language. The way they teach it is good, but it could be better. I'll just say that. But there are other places you can learn R besides DataCamp. Number 7, Python, another programming language for statistical analysis and data analysis. Python is actually more in use than R is right now. So if you want to choose between one of these two, I would suggest learning Python. Learning Python it seems to be more user-friendly, and the syntax is a little bit more understandable. But of course, both R and Python have their pros and cons. Number 8, SAS, another program for learning or for doing data analysis and statistical analysis. This one is more corporate based. It's not, R and Python are what are known as open source. In other words, they are free and people are constantly adding to the programs and the packages that are in those programs for people to use. SAS is a program that is not open source. It is what it is. You buy it and you use it. You can't add to it. and it's also a little expensive, and it's kind of fallen out of favor as R and Python have become more popular. 9, SQL, structured query language. This program is used for doing data queries. If you want to look up some data in a database, you use SQL to filter out the data that you need. And I don't know if there may not be 10 companies on planet Earth that don't use SQL in some way. So it's ubiquitous. It's very high demand. If you learn SQL, you should be able to get yourself a job doing some basic data analysis or data querying. I've learned some SQL, but unfortunately, I've been learning other things too, to the point where, my mistake was I've been learning too many things. I haven't been focused on one thing, and that's my fault. But it's also kind of the fault of the companies that are putting out job descriptions. If you see a job description and they want you to learn, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Access, Tableau, R, Python, SAS, SQL, and Google Analytics, where are you going to focus your time? It's kind of hard to know. The rule of thumb is whatever is first on their list, learn that. But then again, you could see another job description that wants you to learn Word, another one that really wants you to learn Tableau, another one that is very adamant that you know Python. So this is another challenge for people who are learning new skills while they're looking for a job. Not only are you looking for a job, and not only are you learning new skills, but it's kind of hard to even know what's new skill to learn and what new skill to put the most time in. So as you can tell, this can be a very frustrating thing. So what I would suggest doing is find 10 or 20 job descriptions that are related to the kind of jobs that you are looking for. Put them, find the job descriptions, put it all in a giant word cloud and see what comes out, or just kind of eyeball the job descriptions and see what it is that comes out most frequently, and then focus on that skill. That's what I did. That's why I started learning Tableau and R and Python and SQL, and kind of shied away from SAS because SAS wasn't showing up nearly as much as those other skills. And number 10 is Google Analytics, which is used for marketing, websites, online, e-commerce and things like that, to track all kinds of statistics on your website, sales, website visits, clicks, views, all those kinds of things. So these are just 10 ideas as for skills that you can learn while you're looking for your next job. And I wish you the best of luck, because some of these are easier than others, but a lot of jobs require you to have 2, 3, 4 years of experience with these. So if you're just learning one of these skills, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you to find a job that requires that skill, as I have personally found out. Commandment number 3, learn and try new things, curiosity. Now, number 1 is foods. When I lost my job, one of the first things I did was I went to the grocery store and I started walking around, and I grabbed some new foods because I was thinking, I'm at a point now where it's time for me to try some new things. Because, at the time I was financially okay and I didn't have a whole lot to worry about. And so I was going to start trying new things in life. And one of the things I wanted to try was new foods. Variety can really spice up your life, no matter how bad of a situation you're in. Just try something new. Pick out something. Don't be eating the same darn things every single day and every single week. The more you do that, the more you realize you have different options. And quite honestly, you know what that does? That actually changes your mindset when it comes to job searching. Because if you're trying all kinds of new things, not only foods, but other things I'm going to share with you, your mind becomes more open to new ideas. And so not only are you trying new foods, but maybe you're also going to be more curious about new careers, new jobs, maybe even new cities where you can live. So it actually does open up your mind, not just for the things listed here, but also for your career. Number two, new books. Books are a great way to learn things. You can learn new skills, you can learn new ideas, you can learn things about, obviously anything. But new books will open up your mind to new ideas and new thoughts, new ways of thinking about and viewing the world. Number three, new TV shows. I'm not a big TV watcher. I pretty much only watch things that are related to either sports or politics or science and nature and the news. That's pretty much it. I don't watch any sitcoms or, cop shows or lawyer shows or reality shows or game shows. I don't watch any of this stuff. If you do, that's fine. Hey, to each their own. I just don't watch those things. But try a new TV show and see if you like it, and add it to your list of things that could maybe keep you a little more happy. Number four, radio shows and podcasts. I really don't listen to the radio. I don't know how many people do. Maybe XM radio or something like that. But podcasts are huge right now, and they're growing exponentially. If you don't know what a podcast is, basically it's just an audio recording of people talking. And instead of being on a radio station, it's on a website. It's either on their own website or it's on places like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Podcasts, Spotify. What else is there? There's a ton of them. The program I use, or the website I use, is Podbean. It's pretty cheap. You can start your own podcast for free, but if you want to store a lot of data, then you need to spend a little money. But I'm still only paying $14 a month to host my own podcast. I did host my own podcast for a few months, for over a year, and then my father passed away, and that was part of my business idea that stalled when my father passed away. But then I resurrected it again when the pandemic hit, so that I could keep people up to date on what's going on in the economy, because it was impacting a lot more people than usual. And I was also sharing some of these tips on how to stay sane during unemployment. But podcasts, you name it, any subject, any topic, you can find it. Number five, new movies. I'm a huge movie buff, although I don't watch movies much anymore because I'm too busy doing other things. But try and find a new movie, and again, open your eyes and your mind to new ways of thinking about the world, or just a new way to entertain yourself and make you feel good, maybe too. Number six, new music. Same thing. Can make you feel good, can make you think about things, can help you get through your time. If you want to listen to upbeat music, that's great. If you want to listen to sad music because you're going through a sad time, well, then that can be beneficial to you too. Music is always a great way to soothe the soul, soothe your mind, calm you down, or get you more excited and upbeat for the day or the week ahead. Whatever mood you're in, listen to some music that's going to, help you in whatever mood you're in. Number seven, outdoor activities, sports, and nature. Get outside, breathe in the fresh air. These days you have to wear a mask in a lot of places, but if you're out in nature, you don't have to. Go outside, take off the mask, breathe in the fresh air. Get some exercise, go biking or swimming in the winter or in the summer, or go ice skating or snowmobiling or sledding or ice fishing in the winter. Go to the zoo or something, just get outdoors. Try new things that you've never tried before. You'll be surprised that some of the things that you try may become a new hobby and help you get through this difficult time. Number eight, new places. Right now, it's a little tough to go to new places, at least venues, because a lot of venues are shut down. But new places, maybe go to some kind of a state park or something, or I don't know, a different city, just maybe even a new country if you can travel, or if you want to travel while in the middle of a pandemic. But new places will open up your mind as well, and get your mind off of your current state of affairs. Number nine, new people or social or professional organizations. Meet new people, go to events, collect business cards, collect names and phone numbers and emails, join professional organizations. I've joined a couple professional organizations, but they have kind of been shut down with the pandemic, so it makes networking harder. But when things get back up and running, go out to events that are put on by organizations in your profession. And you can even do it now. I mean, a lot of professional organizations have a lot of things that are online right now. So you can do things not only without leaving your house, but without traveling, without paying for gas or hotel money, and without paying any money at all. Vast majority of these online webinars are free now. So try that. Finally, number 10, new exercises. Find new ways to move your body, to exercise your body, to get yourself out of your funk. If you're looking for a job, you're going to be on your computer a lot. Sitting down for a long period of time is bad. I never really thought that that was the case, but once I lost my job and I found myself sitting in front of my computer for very long periods of time without getting up and talking to anybody or going outside or doing anything to move my body, I realized sitting on your chair for a long period of time is bad. You can literally feel the blood rushing down your legs once you get out of your chair. So you have to exercise and keep yourself healthy while you're going through this period of time in your life. Number 4, be good to yourself, attitude. Number 1, do something that makes you happy every single day, whether it's big or small. I would say if there is one commandment or one tip throughout this entire webinar that has gotten me through this, it is this one. And I'm going to tell you one of the smallest things that you can do during the summer anyway, you can do it during the winter too, but is what I do. I eat a float pop every day in summer. What's a float pop? It's a popsicle with ice cream in the middle. It's very tasty. It cools me down in the summer, and it just gives me a little dollop of joy. That lasts maybe a minute. But seriously, it may sound stupid, but you have to do things that make you happy every single day. At least one. Every single day, at least one. Eat your favorite food, listen to your favorite music, watch your favorite movie, watch your favorite sports team, go to your favorite place, talk to your favorite person. Whatever it may be, read your favorite book, whatever it may be, you have to do at least one thing that makes you happy every single day, because you're going to need it to offset all the bad things that are going to be coming your way. Some days there are a lot of bad things, some days there aren't any bad things, but you have to have that one single thing every day that keeps you happy. Number 2, eat healthy foods. This is going to help you not only in terms of your health, but also, a lot of healthy foods are tasty as well. So that gives you a little bit of joy. And, some healthy foods are cheap, but some healthy foods are a little more expensive. So again, like I said before, watch your budget, but also watch your health when it comes to foods. Number 3, get enough sleep. Very important. And I will tell you straight up that I would say I have not done so good with this one. It really varies. You'll find, if you haven't already, that when you're unemployed, you don't have a schedule. You can get up at 7 in the morning, and you can get up at noon. It doesn't matter. You have no schedule and no boss. So getting enough sleep really isn't difficult, but you will find that your sleep patterns are going to be quite varied. They're not going to be routine like they were when you had a job. So getting enough sleep, whether it's, doesn't matter when you go to bed and when you wake up, as long as you get enough sleep, 7 to 8 hours recommended, important so that you're ready for the day and the tasks ahead. Number 4, like I said before, get enough exercise. That's goes without explaining, really. Number 5, temper alcohol, cigarette, and drug use. What can I say about this? Well, I will say that I've struggled with this one. I don't do drugs, I don't smoke, but I do drink alcohol. Sometimes a little more than I should, sometimes not so much. I go up and down with it. But I've learned that it's best to have less. I've also learned that it's okay to have some. Don't put yourself in jail in terms of not being able to do what you want to do, but don't go hog wild with it either. I've gone through bouts where I've had several days where I've been inebriated. Not a good idea. It's expensive. It's bad for your health. It takes away from the things you need to be doing, like learning skills, networking, searching for jobs, and so on and so forth. But you don't necessarily need to go cold turkey either. So that's about what I'll say about that. Number 6, try to stay as positive as possible. Keep positive company and ignore the negative ninnies. This is very important. There are going to be people when you're going through this very difficult time that are going to be good for you to be around and to listen to and to hear and to take advice from and ideas and such. But there are also going to be people who are negative. They're going to wonder why it's taking you so long to find a job. Why aren't you looking for a job? Why haven't you had any interviews? Why are you looking at a certain company? Why are you looking at a certain job? Why don't you move? Why don't you do this and that and everything else? You need to stick with the positive people and kind of ignore the negative people, and if really need be, maybe even kind of push them out of your life. That may be necessary. I didn't really push anybody out of my life so much as I just kind of let them fade away because they were negative people. I didn't need it. You're going through a very negative, difficult time right now. You don't need negative on top of negative. You need positive to offset the negative. Number 7, focus on the future rather than the past. Some of you may have a very good past. Some of you may have a very bad past. I showed you my recent past. It was somewhat good, but a lot of bad. And I'll admit too, I can find myself dwelling on the past, why I did certain things, the mistakes I made. Some of them small, some of them really big and stupid. But it's better to focus on the future, but not because it'll help to keep you positive. It'll expand your mind in terms of the ideas and the opportunities that lay before you. It will help you to understand that things can be better if you do the right things, of course, and if you have a little bit of luck. But it also, what's also important is to enjoy the present. You have to enjoy the present. Like I said, do something happy do something that makes you happy every single day. Enjoy the moment. This is becoming more and more kind of a mainstream idea. The more webinars and the more webinars I listen to, the more podcasts I listen to, the more books I read, more and more people are saying this because the past is the past. You can't change it. The future isn't here yet. So you can influence the future, but you can't really change the future because it hasn't happened yet. The present, you can influence and change your present by what you do right now today. So enjoy the present, but focus on the future would be my advice. Number 8, find time to laugh. Oh, this is so important. Listen to a funny podcast. Let's watch a funny movie or a funny comedy special, or read a funny book. Is there any such thing as a funny book? I don't know. But or find your favorite person who is just always joyful, always happy, always laughing, and be around them. Do something. Let yourself laugh. Especially if you just got rejected for a job, or if you just went to an interview and it went really bad, or if you just found out that the job you were interviewing for is no longer open, or you went to an event where you had a bad time networking. I've been through all these situations. Find some time to laugh, both physically, mentally, and spiritually. It will help you to get rid of the negative energy in your body. Trust me on this one. A good belly laugh is good for everyone. Number 9, do a little dance once in a while. Allow yourself to just get funny and funky and stupid and goofy. Seriously, just, if you have to, close the windows in your house, put on a fun danceable song, and just dance. Just let yourself dance and be happy, have fun, and move however your body wants to move. Like the old saying goes, dance like nobody else is watching. Just do it. Just do it. Allow yourself to be goofy. And number 10, allow yourself to cry once in a while. but not too often. You cannot keep bad, negative energy and ideas and thoughts and emotions bottled up. Either allow yourself to cry when something goes wrong or when things are really difficult, or allow yourself to talk to somebody who can listen to you, get rid of your negative thoughts. This is super important. You cannot let negative energy be bottled up. You have to let it out once in a while. Maybe you got to scream. Maybe you got to yell. And I'm not even kidding you. I would not suggest doing this, but once in a while, maybe you need to punch something. Maybe I would suggest punching a pillow so you don't break your hand. But, go for a run, really hard run or really hard bike ride or something. Get that negative energy out of your body. And one way to do that is allow yourself to cry. Even men, yes, even men. I will admit I haven't really cried all that much since I lost my job. I bawled like a baby the day that I lost my job. I bawled like a baby, tears dripping onto the floor as I rested my head on the chair in my office right before I walked out for the last time. I bawled like a baby because I knew this was the end of this job, possibly the end of my career, because I had a very unique job. I knew it was going to take a while to find another job, and I was right. But I also knew that it was kind of the end of my identity as an economist. Maybe, I don't know. But I let myself be in that moment and allowed myself to cry. Men, you got to do this too. There's no such thing as men not being allowed to cry. All right. On to commandment number 5. Oh, I just also want to say too that yes, I did cry when I lost my best friend. I did cry when I lost my band leader. I did cry a lot when I lost my father. Cried at probably every funeral I went to. So, yeah, there's been a lot of difficult times. Number 5, be good to others, compassion. Number 1, volunteer. I have volunteered a little bit since I lost my job, but I must admit I should be doing more. Volunteering is a way to help other people. It's a way to help yourself feel good, but it's also a way to help you get your mind off of the crap that you are going through yourself right now. How can you think about your money problems or your job problems or your relationship problems or your car problems or your house problems or your health problems or whatever problems you have when you're helping somebody else through their problem, helping somebody get food, helping somebody clear off their sidewalk of snow, mow their lawn, go pick up something from the store, just be there for them as a confidant to listen to their stories. Whatever the case may be, when you're helping somebody get through their crap, it's harder to think about your own crap. Number 2, donate to charity. Same thing. When you're helping somebody or an organization to, help with their cause, it gives you a little bit less time to think about the own horrible situation that you yourself are going through. Again, you have to be frugal, but there has not been a year since I lost my job when I did not donate to charity, because I know that some people need it more than me, or some causes need it really, really badly in terms of, my values. And I just really feel like at this point in time, I still have the means. If I still have the means, then I'm going to donate. And like the Bible says, donate or give to charity, even out of your meager means. With like the widow who gave her last 2 pennies or her last 2 coins. So donate to charity. It'll make you feel better. Number 3, help or do something nice for somebody. Like I said, pick up something from the store or go somewhere with them, like to a sporting event or a movie or a church, or send somebody a card. again, I've done this, but not nearly as much as I could. And I got to tell you, while I'm sitting here going through this webinar, I'm learning some things about myself. In other words, I'm telling you some things that will help you, but I'm also realizing that I could be doing more of these things as well. Number 4, go somewhere or do something with somebody. Same thing. Number 5, pray for somebody. Especially now when people are losing their jobs, losing their life savings, losing their retirement plans, losing their loved ones due to a pandemic. If you're not religious, send them good, happy, positive thoughts, either through a card or just through your own thoughts. If you are religious, pray for somebody, your family member, your friend, your neighbor, your relative, a coworker, a stranger that you met that day. Many times I have met strangers or seen strangers that are going through difficult times. And then either I pray for them on the spot or I pray for them when I go home and say my nightly prayers. But praying for other people, again, takes your focus away from your bad situation and offers up suffering for somebody else. And as a religious person, I can tell you, God looks well on people who pray for others. At least that is my belief. And many sources say that that is the case. So when you're going through a bad time, pray for somebody else. Number 6, send somebody a card. Kind of like what I said before, do something nice for somebody. I got a story for you here. One day, about 9 months ago, I received a card in the mail. And I kid you not, there was no return address. I opened the card. It said, thinking of you, or hoping you are doing well, or something like that. No other writing on the card. The address was written in pen, but I did not recognize the handwriting. Inside that card were 2 gift cards, one for $50 and one for $100. The $50 one was, I can't remember what that was for, but the $100 one was for Target. Ladies and gentlemen, to this day, I have no idea who sent me those gift cards. I have a sneaking feeling who it might be, but I can't say 100% certain I know who it is. I cannot tell you how much that lifted my spirits that day. Unbelievable. So if you send somebody a card, you don't have to give them money. Just give them a nice thought. It will really make their day. And again, while you're writing the card and sending the card, you're not thinking about your bad situation. Number 7, call somebody. Kind of goes without saying, not only to listen to their stories, but you might be able to tell them your stories too and get some things off your chest that you need to get off your chest. Get some of that negative energy unbottled. But primarily it should be about them making their day brighter, not necessarily about you. Number 8, pay for somebody's meal. This can go a long way toward making somebody's day very bright, especially if somebody really needs it, whether it's a homeless person or someone in line at the grocery store or somebody that you don't know. Another story I have here, I was out mowing I was raking leaves, I think, one day, and a gentleman came walking down the street, and it was clear he was inebriated, but he said that he had just just gotten here from Chicago. I think I could barely understand what he was saying, but Chicago was one of the words I heard. And he said something else like, why are people treating me so bad, or something like that. And then he asked if I had any money. And this is in my neighborhood. So if this was in the city, I'd be a little bit more skeptical, but this is in my neighborhood, So I went inside I dropped my rake, went inside the house. I put some coins, some loose change into a bag, and put some crackers and an apple into a bag and brought it out to him. So some crackers, an apple, and probably about $5 worth of change. It's not much, but I'm unemployed too, so I can't be giving away the store either. And he said, and by the time I came out, interestingly enough, there was a very nice looking SUV sitting in the road, and he was standing there next to this guy in the SUV. And as soon as I gave him the food and the money, he got in, the guy I gave the stuff to got in the really expensive SUV, and they drove away. So on the one hand, I felt good about helping this guy out. But on the other hand, I kind of felt like maybe I was a little bit snookered in the sense that maybe this was a panhandler and that guy was working with him, the guy with the SUV. Who knows? But whenever you do a good deed for somebody, no matter what, if it's legit or not in terms of the receiver, it'll still make you feel good. Number 9, encourage somebody. You are going through a very difficult time right now, and you know that encouragement is helpful. So why not do the same thing for somebody else? Lift up somebody else in their difficult time of need. Make their day brighter. Make their situation a little bit more bearable or less dreadful. Encourage somebody. And number 10, smile and be courteous to everyone. A smile on your face will attract other people in terms of the good vibes they get from people around them. And being courteous to everyone obviously is good too. You have no reason to be mean to anybody. Even if you're having a bad day, and even if somebody did something not so nice to you, be courteous. Turn the other cheek, and just take it with a grain of salt. Don't let a molehill become a mountain. Don't let a very small issue become a very big issue. Just let it slide off your shoulders. Still smile and be courteous, and let it go and be on your way. All right. Commandment number 6, get out of the house, adventure. Again, many of these things may or may not be able to do right now because of the pandemic and the lockdowns and restrictions and everything else, but during normal times, this will help you. Number 1, family gatherings. Yeah, this is kind of hard to say right now, unfortunately, but my family and I were able to get together for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and so needed. So needed. Especially, or even in the midst of a health scare, you have to be with family. And, again, some people's families are not so strong or close as others. I'm very thankful and blessed to have a very strong and close family. Family and faith and fun have really have been getting me through my unemployment. Very important to have family gatherings. Number 2, get together with friends. I haven't done this so much as I used to because, again, partly because some friends faded away, one friend passed away, and some friends live far away to the point where it's tough to get together as often as we used to. But I also got to tell you that politics has played an issue too. We are now a very divided country, and politics are really ruining a lot of friendships and relationships, and I'm no different. So getting together with friends is important if they're still with you and you still consider them good friends, but maybe not so necessary if they're not such good friends anymore. And it's not such a great thing to say, but I got to tell you, if it hasn't happened to you yet, it will happen to you, or it very well could happen to you, and you're not alone. It happens to a lot of people. It really does. It's a sad thing, but it happens. But getting together with friends who are still good friends is a good thing. Number 3, church activities. If you're religious and you attend church, attend some church activities. Bible study, or yearly picnics, or some other kind of extracurricular activities that any church might have. One of them I joined was the choir, like I said. That has really helped me. That's one of the very few sources of joy that I've had since I lost my job was joining the choir. Not only because I enjoy singing, but also because, boy, I got to tell you, the people I met in my choir are some of the nicest, just most fantastic people I've ever met in my life. I say that from the bottom of my heart. So when you will find, even if you don't go to church, you might want to, and you might find that some of the best people you ever met are in your local church. Number 4, networking events. Oh, going back to church activities, that can also help you to build skills like volunteering does, to build some new skills that you may or may not, either have or need in your next opportunity in life. Number 5, networking events. It's a great way to get out and learn new things, learn new skills, meet new people, go new places, and even try new foods. These are great ways to get out of the house, get off your behind, and get out and see and be seen. Number 5, informational interviews. This is where you interview somebody or have a conversation with somebody at a company that you are interested in working at. Very good way to learn about the company as well as to share with them what you might bring to the table if an opportunity arises. And you'll have yourself a contact such that next time an opportunity does arise, you can go back to that person and say, hey, Joe or Jim or whatever, you and I spoke a few weeks ago or a few months ago. I noticed that there is this opportunity at XYZ company, and I was wondering if you knew anything about it, if you might know the hiring manager, or if you might be able to possibly get my resume to the hiring manager or the recruiter. It's all about building relationships, and I'm learning this the hard way too, because I got to tell you, most of my time I've been spending either going to networking events and meeting people, but not really networking with them afterwards, or spending most of my time applying for jobs online. Like you, I need to do more of this: informational interviews, talking to people, developing relationships that are not about necessarily finding a job, but are about developing relationships such that down the road, when you do need some help, you have established that bond, and now asking for help is not such a big deal. Number 6, movies. Kind of hard to do right now during the pandemic, but when things get more normal and things open up, go out and see a movie. Good idea. Get out of the house. Number 7, what I will say about movies too, most people watch movies on their TV now. They stream it, Netflix, Hulu, whatever, on demand. But once in a while, it's a good idea just to get out of the house and go to an actual movie theater and be around human beings. Number 7, restaurants and bars. Again, locked down a lot right now, but when you get a chance, go out, family, friends, neighbors, relatives, whatever, with people you know, enjoy some good food and some good conversation. Just allow yourself to have a good time once in a while. Number 8, concerts. It's pretty much self-explanatory. Number 9, sporting events. Again, they're all locked down, but when things get back to normal, hopefully we'll have more fans in the stands. I really hate these sporting events right now with this fake fan noise. Oh, it's just terrible. And you can tell that sports teams are really missing the momentum and the energy of the fans being in the stands. It's a huge, huge loss for them right now. So go out and have some fun and support your local sport teams. And finally, number 10, outdoor activities. Like I mentioned before, go outside, go biking, go swimming, go hiking, get outside and be out in nature, breathe in the fresh air and move your body and get off your behind and do some healthy exercise. Moving on to number 7, keep a tight budget, frugality. Make yourself a budget and a forecast. Some people can do this, some people can't because they just aren't good with math or budgets or spreadsheets or whatever. Everyone has their skills they're good at. But if you can make yourself a budget and a forecast, and if you can't, find someone who can help you with that. Maybe I can help you with that. Maybe that's something that I can help people with as a side business. I don't know. I'm just starting to think about that this very moment. because I'm good with spreadsheets. I'm good with numbers and data. I'm good with uh, um, using my money wisely and putting together a budget. Although I don't always keep to it, but my monthly spending is pretty much fairly consistent. But what's even more important is to create a forecast. You don't know how long you're going to have a job, or you're going to be out of a job. You don't know how long it's going to be before you're going to either file for unemployment if you haven't already, or file for some kind of welfare program, or need to take out a home equity loan or a personal loan, or a cash advance on your credit card, or ask for some money from a family member or a friend, or whatever the case may be. You need to know your what's called your runway. In other words, how long is the money that you have right now going to last you based on how much you spend on a monthly basis? And so I've been able to do that. It's pretty simple, really. Take a look at your average, say last 6 months, just figure that out in your spreadsheet, and then use that as your go forth forecast for how much you expect to spend on a monthly basis for your monthly expenses. And then you'll be able to see, okay, take your how much money you have, put in some kind of a cushion such that you don't want to go below that, and then divide that by how much you spend on a monthly basis, and that'll tell you how many months you have, how many months of expenses you have covered before you're going to have to take other measures that I previously mentioned. And this is important because it helps you to plan. In other words, imagine what it would be like if all of a sudden one day you paid a bill like your mortgage or your electricity bill, and all of a sudden you realized, holy smokes, I don't have any money left. That would not be good. So you need to know in advance um, how long you have that is covered, so that you can start making plans to cover what won't be covered, either with a loan or help from a family member or government programs or whatever. And this will also help you. Well, it will help, but it might also hurt with your anxiety. It'll help you because you will say, okay, I have a certain amount of months. I can, either take my time looking for the right job, or I don't have to be so worried about finding a job at this point in time, at this moment, so that I can spend a little more time with family and friends, or I can watch that movie or watch that ball game, or go out on that bike ride. I don't need a job today. But on the other hand, it can give you some anxiety, because you can say, well, geez, if I only have 6 months of expenses covered, that can give you some anxiety, believe me. So there are some pros and cons to doing a forecast, but I think there's more pros than cons, and it will help you with your planning, as well as helping you to keep your budget to a minimum when you know what you need and what you really don't need on a monthly basis. Number 2, don't buy anything unless absolutely necessary. That's pretty self-explanatory there. Number 3, use coupons, reward cards, and reward points. I don't really eat out much at restaurants, but when I do, I use a coupon. I don't ever go to, Arby's or Burger King or Subway or anything like that without a coupon. I just consider it not necessarily too expensive, but too expensive for my budget. Reward cards are always good. Gift cards, if you get them for Christmas or birthday or whatever. Rewards points on your credit card or on your card for your, whatever place you're going to, Subway rewards or gas rewards or whatever. Use those reward points and those rewards cards. Number 4, unit cost shopping. What in the world is unit cost shopping, you say? This is where you buy you can buy in bulk, but you don't have to. This is where you buy the product that has the lowest unit cost. In other words, the cost per pound, or the cost per liter, or the cost per package, or whatever. So if you're going shopping and you're going to buy ice cream, for example, are you going to buy the 1 liter ice cream for $5, or are you going to buy the 2 liter ice cream for $7 or $8? Well, if you divide the cost divided by the unit of measurement, which would be a liter in this case, you will find out that the cost per liter is less if you buy the 2 liter bucket of ice cream for $8. You are spending more, but per unit, you're spending less, which means that you have to go shopping less often, or you have to buy that product less often. But overall, the main idea is you're spending less per unit. This is very, very helpful because it will help you to save money. It will help you to save shopping time. It will help you to stay within your budget. It will help with your planning. And because you're saving time and money, you can use that time and money for other things. So unit cost shopping, really, really useful tip to get through unemployment. Number 5, never go grocery shopping on an empty stomach. Now, why would that be? Pretty obvious, but useful tip anyway. Number 6, refinance your mortgage or your student loans if possible. As of this recording, interest rates on loans and mortgages are at record lows. I don't know about student loans, but mortgages are at record lows. If you can, refinance your mortgage. Now, understand that you probably have to have a job, at least a part-time job, or at least some form of income, whether it be a side hustle, freelance, or maybe even some money coming in from the stock market to refinance your mortgage. But if you can, you will save a lot of money on interest, and you might even be able to shorten the length of your mortgage so that you can pay it off sooner. The shorter the length of your mortgage, the faster you pay off the principal and the quicker you build equity. Student loans, right now, a lot of people are in deferment due to the pandemic. Same with mortgages. Some people are deferring their mortgage payments. But if at all possible, either consolidate or refinance your student loans. Again, saves you interest, and you can maybe shorten the length of your loan. Number 7, cut back on fast food or eating out. Again, unless you have a coupon. For me, I'm looking at $4 or $5 per meal. I'm a single guy, so I don't have to worry about feeding anybody else. But $4 or $5 a meal, maybe even $3 sometimes, is usually what I spend. I don't eat breakfast much. I eat lunch and supper or dinner, whatever you want to call it. But my spending is pretty much between $3 and $5 per meal. If I go to Arby's or somewhere, I'm either needing a coupon or I'm going to buy like 2 meals worth. I'm pretty stingy with my money when it comes to food, but I do allow myself to spend a little bit more once in a while, either because I'm hungry or because I really want something that I'm craving or something that I haven't had for a long time. You know, again, treat yourself once in a while. But for the most part, don't go fast food places or eating out unless you have a coupon or some kind of gift card. Number 8, cut the TV cable. Here's another point that I'm giving people that I haven't done myself. I really want to cut the cable, but I'm one of those people that doesn't like changing things unless it absolutely needs to be changed. So I'm sticking with it. But recently I've also found some new things that my cable company offers that I did not know. So I'm going to be looking into more of those. Maybe that actually will justify the high cost. But if you really need money and you're okay with cutting the cable, that's another way to save some money. Number 9, cut back on going out on the town, but not completely. Again, during this pandemic, we don't have a whole lot of choice, but during normal times, go out on town once in a while. But again, keep the spending to a minimum, keep the drinking to a minimum. Don't drink and drive, please, for the love. Don't drink and drive. I learned my lesson the hard way on that too. Don't drink and drive. It's not worth it. It's not worth the cost and lawyer costs. It's not worth the cost in losing your license. It's not worth the cost that it might have on your career. and it's not worth the cost that it might, you might cause either somebody else or yourself to lose their life. Do not ever drink and drive. My rule now is if I have one sip of alcohol, I don't drive. Or if I'm driving, I don't have one sip of alcohol. I do not mix them at all. And it took me a while to do that. It took me a real long while to get to that point. But there's a point, comes a point in every person's life where you say, you know what? I just can't do this anymore. And I reached that point. So that's my word of warning to you. If you're going back out on the town, if you're going out of town, do not drink and drive. Ever. Especially nowadays with Uber. Finally, number 10, do free things. Read books or blogs or build skills. Watch TV. TV, I guess, isn't free if you have cable TV, but it doesn't cost you any more than your normal monthly bill. Listen to free music. Go outside. There's a lot of free things you can do outside. A lot of things you can do to spend your time, to give yourself joy, to move your body around, to get away, get that negative energy out of yourself that are free. All right. Commandment number 8, network. Brevity. I call this brevity because a lot of people don't like networking or they're scared to network. So number 1, network with family. First things first, you got to let your family know you lost your job. You may not want to, but you have to let them know. Maybe they can help you, maybe they can't. And if they can't, maybe they'll pray for you. But networking with your family is important. Same thing with friends. Again, some of them might be able to help you. Some of them might want to help you, but can't. Some of them may not want to help you, and some of them may not want to even hear from you. Some of them may not even want to be your friend anymore. But with the friends that you think might be able to help you, let them know you're looking for a job. Neighbors, same thing. This might be a little bit more tricky because you don't want the stigma of being the unemployed person in the neighborhood, especially if you're in a really good neighborhood where most people have really good jobs and really nice houses. It can be a real problem. It can be a real problem, especially if you're close with your neighbors and you go to, community events once in a while. And, you don't also, all of a sudden you don't want to go to one of the community events and show up and say, oh, hey, everybody, just thought I'd let you know I lost my job. Boy, that's tough. But I tell you what's tougher? Telling people you lost your job or being unemployed for a long time because you didn't tell anybody. And because you didn't tell anybody, they didn't know. And because they didn't know, they couldn't help you. And because they couldn't help you, you couldn't find a job. Think about it. Have some humble pie. Tell your neighbors. Number 4, relatives. Same thing. Might be tricky. Some of your relatives might be close. Some of them not so much. Some of them might actually hate you. And some of them might relish in giving you crap about losing your job. But I'm sure you know which ones are which and which ones you would be okay with telling and which ones you don't want to tell. Number 5, former colleagues and bosses. Former colleagues, this could be tricky as well. If you lose your job, there might be some animosity between you and those who didn't lose their job. There might have been some competition between you and your colleagues when you had a job. There might have been some colleagues that you simply didn't like. Same with bosses. But there might be some colleagues and bosses that you had a real good relationship with and could help you out, either getting a job within that company or within another company where they know somebody who could help you there. So colleagues and bosses. Number 6, former classmates and alumni. This will be, depending on how long you've been out of school, it might be helpful and it may really not. For me, I've been out of school a while and I really didn't keep in touch with very many people that I went to school with. I keep in touch with people I went to college with because that's where I built my first circle of friends out of high school. But when I went to grad school, it was a part-time program at night after work. You really didn't have that cohesiveness. You weren't going to sporting events and parties and college activities and things like that. So was kind of harder to form relationships in a part-time evening program. Nonetheless, if you do have some classmates and alumni that you know that could help you, reach out to them. Number 7, church congregants. Again, like I said, when I joined my choir, I realized that these were some of the most wonderful people I've ever met. Unfortunately, I will admit, I have not yet, well, until recently, let anybody know that I didn't have a job. Again, it's the stigma. It's embarrassing to not have a job. Maybe not so much right now because of the pandemic and millions of people are in your same boat. But before the pandemic, it was, I didn't want to tell anybody I didn't have a job. Well, we had a Zoom meeting, a Zoom rehearsal. Excuse me. We had a Zoom rehearsal a couple weeks ago, and I kind of let it slip that I have been looking for a job. But they don't know how long I've been out of a job, so there's that. But if you have the fortitude and the wherewithal, and you're okay with telling church congregants, tell them. They might be some of the most helpful people you will find. Number 8, networking events. Again, anything that's in your area of expertise, your industry, your field, or that's in the area of expertise or the industry or field that you want to get into. Go to events, conferences, seminars, what have you, and network there. One of the keys to networking is don't network with as many people as possible. Find 2 or 3 or 4 people, develop a relationship with them, have a nice long conversation, give them your business card, and then tell them that you'll contact them after the event. As opposed to going out and collecting 20 business cards and having a 1-minute conversation with them, they're not going to remember you, and they're certainly not going to want to help you because they don't know who you are. You didn't invest the time and effort to establish a relationship with them, so they're not going to invest any time and effort in helping you. So 2 or 3 or 4 at the most good contacts at a networking event is optimal. Number 9, informational interviews, like I mentioned before. It's a good way to not only share with people what you bring to the table, but also what they're looking for and some of the trends that are going on in their department or their company or their industry. And number 10, people you meet out and about. Wherever you go, I don't care where you go, a networking event, a sporting event, a concert, out to eat, a party, wherever you go, always have your business cards. If you don't have business cards, you better get some. Pretty cheap. I forgot the name of the website. There's one really popular website you can go to buy business cards, but pretty cheap, like $10 or so for like 500 or something like that. Always have business cards at the ready because you never know who you're going to meet. You never know when you're going to need them, and you're really going to regret it when you meet somebody and you say, oh, I don't have a business card. Because not only do you not have the ability to connect with them if you don't have your business card or if they don't have theirs, but guess what? It also makes you look very unprepared. When you meet someone out and about, you have a business card at the ready, immediately that makes you look like you are somebody who's prepared for any moment and any opportunity that might come your way. And that is always a good thing, a good character to have. All right, number 9, control your emotions, stability. Number 1, don't get too excited. Well, I haven't had that problem since I lost my job. I got to be honest with you. I don't recall anything that really got me excited, at least not long term. I get excited when my favorite sports teams win, but no job to get excited about. No, I haven't won the lottery. I haven't met a really fine woman to date. I haven't bought a new car. I did buy a new TV and a new computer, but I wasn't too excited about it because the TV and the computer died on me. So even though I got nice new things, it wasn't too exciting because I had to pay for them. So, good good to have new things, but not necessarily if you really didn't want to buy them. But what I'm trying to say is don't let yourself get too high, because very soon you may find yourself in a situation where something brings you down again. But if you didn't get too high, then that will help you to not necessarily get too low. So the higher the excitement, the higher higher you climb, the harder the fall, whatever it is. Don't let yourself get too excited or too high emotionally, and you'll allow yourself to not get too low. Number two, do not allow yourself to get too depressed. Everyone has a cross to bear. Everyone is going through something difficult. Some people are going through job loss. Some people are going through loss of a loved one. Some people are going through a health problem. Some people have money problems. Some people have marriage problems. Some people have family problems. Some people have car problems. Some people have house problems. Some people have appliance problems. Everyone has a cross to bear. Don't let yourself get too depressed. Understand that you are not the only person that is going through a bad situation in life. And I guarantee you, you will not feel as bad about your situation. Because let's be honest, life is tough. Life is tough. Everybody has problems, and the how we get through those problems is really the true test of our character. You might be hearing some noises right now. That is the wind and the snow blowing against my house and my window in the midst of one of the craziest snowstorms I remember in a long time. So I apologize for the snow, but I'm doing this because I really don't want to be outside. But I'm going to have to go outside sooner or later and shovel and snow blow the driveway. But let's get through this webinar first. So I apologize for the noises you're hearing. Number three, walk away and take a break from frustrating situations. Very important. Don't let negative energy and bad situations build up to the point where you explode. It's happened to me. I'll admit it's happened to me, and it's probably happened to you. It's probably happened to most people. But the more you can control your emotions and not allow that to happen, not only will the better off you be, health-wise and stress-wise, but you'll be more in control of your situation. And it'll allow you to come back with a better focus. Because if you sit there and allow things to build and build and build, suddenly you're going to lose focus and you're not going to want to do whatever it is that you were doing. Or you'll get mad at somebody, or you'll make yourself look like a fool, whatever the case may be. If something is going bad and you can feel it building, walk away, take a break from frustrating situations. Number four, don't sweat the small stuff. Kind of the same thing. Don't let small things get your goat, so to speak. I wish I would have learned this lesson before I lost my job. I made a lot of mistakes in my previous job, I'll admit, but we have to learn from our lessons. And one thing I learned was, don't sweat the small stuff. If the light bulb goes out in the middle of your studying, just stop, replace the light bulb, move on. If you drop your phone and you get a crack in the screen, that sucks. But you know what? It's not the end of the world. Move on. Go and replace the screen the next day or get a new phone. If your tire goes flat, fill it up. Even if there's something wrong with the tire, go replace it. Hopefully you can afford it. That's not exactly a small thing, but it's not a big thing either. The small things, your pen runs out of ink while you're trying to write something that's really important, especially if you're on a phone interview. How frustrating can that be? But again, don't sweat the small stuff. Don't let it get to you. Just allow things to happen as they happen. And if bad things happen, deal with it and move on. I guarantee you that will help you. Number five, don't worry about mistakes. You will make them, but learn from them and move on. Like I just said, don't dwell on what you did wrong. If you did something wrong, figure out what it was, figure out how you could have done it better or differently or not at all, and learn from it and move on. Your life will be better. You'll make better decisions. in the future. Number six, listen to soft and relaxing music. We talked about this before. It will help you to relax and get your mind off of whatever bad situation you're going through. And it's just good for your overall physical, mental, and spiritual health. Number 7, shut off all noises and just sit in silence for a while. Oh my goodness, do people need to do this? Shut off your computer, shut off your TV, shut off your phone, shut off anything that's making a noise, except for your furnace or air conditioner, and just sit in silence. Just don't try not to think of anything for a while. Put all your negative things away, all your concerns away, and just sit in silence, even if it's for just 5 minutes. And who knows, maybe you'll want to do this on a daily basis or at a certain time of day, or when things are going bad. You just got a bad email, you just got rejected for a job, you just found out somebody passed away, whatever, or your fridge just went out, or you just got an unexpected bill, whatever. Just sit in silence and allow yourself to be calm. You'll be amazed at how that can help you deal with situations in your life. Number 8, be patient. Yes, this is very important, not only in terms of a job search, but also in terms of other things. If you're at the grocery store and somebody is taking a long time to get through the line, just be patient. If you're at a stoplight, or if you're stuck in traffic, just be patient. You cannot make the person in front of you go any faster than they can go. You cannot make that stoplight turn green any faster than it's going to turn green. You cannot make that person at the grocery store go any faster. Well, maybe you can, but it probably wouldn't be all that polite. And you cannot make somebody hire you any faster than they want to make that decision. The vast majority of things that make you impatient, you have absolutely no control over. So just let it play out. Be patient. That will help you a lot as you're searching for a job and dealing with other situations. Number 9, take things slowly if you're feeling stressed. I've had many days, many days, where I had a lot of things on my list to do. Either that or I had one big thing on my list to do, and I was just stressed out, either because I wasn't getting done fast enough, or I wasn't getting things done the way I wanted them to be done, as well as I wanted them to be done, whatever the case may be. Take things slowly if you're feeling stressed. Just take a little break, grab a little bite to eat, grab a little drink of water, go outside, look at the sunshine, watch the birds fly by, whatever. Come back in at a little bit slower pace and just say, okay, I'm going to take the rest of the day at a slower pace and just get done whatever you can get done. And that's it. Some days you can't do that. Some days you have to get certain things done. But there are some times when you don't really have to. You can move things to other days or other time slots in the day, or whatever the case may be. This will help you in certain situations. And number 10, take life one day at a time. If today was a bad day, let it go. Move on to tomorrow, and try to make tomorrow a better day. This is kind of self-explanatory, but again, I can't tell you how much this will help you if you're going through a bad time or a bad day or a bad hour or a bad minute, bad situations. Take life one day at a time. This is kind of back to the whole mantra of live in the present, live in the moment. You can't change the past, you can't change the future. Take life one day at a time. And if today was a bad day, let it go. Very important tip. We have finally reached the 10th commandment, turn to God. Before I go through this, again, I just want to say I'm not here to offend anybody. So if you are not religious, or you do not believe in Jesus Christ, or you are not Catholic, I am a Catholic. So I'm going to share with you the things that helped me get through my unemployment situation. And you can take this for what it's worth. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to offend you. I'm not here to make you mad. I'm not here to try to even get you to become Catholic or Christian or a believer in God. That's not my intent. My intent is to share with you what helped me so that you can make the decision and decide for yourself to try some of these things and see if they might help you. I suggest, I firmly believe that these things will help you, but they may not. It just got, it's different for everybody. That being said, number one, pray more often. Every night and before every meal, I pray, or as much as I possibly can. Before every meal, I pray. Even if I'm out at a restaurant, I will pray before every meal. Why do I do that? Because I've read enough books, I've watched enough documentaries, I've watched enough movies, I've talked to enough people to know that there are billions of people on this planet who do not have enough to eat. And it's a sad thing. Since I lost my job, there has not been one day that's gone by where I haven't had enough to eat. I've been unemployed for a long time. I've been unemployed since longer than almost every single person listening to this. I've been unemployed longer than most people in many developing countries, poor countries. But knock on wood and praise be the Lord, I have enough food to eat every single day, every single night. That is why I pray before every meal. I thank the Lord in heaven above that I have enough to eat. And I say my prayers at night, thanking him for all that I have, for all that he's done for me, and for all that he has bestowed upon me. I highly suggest you do this, and you will find yourself in an attitude of gratitude that will help you get through your difficult situation. Number two, pray for your enemies and your persecutors. Jesus Christ tells us to do this. It may be a very difficult thing for people to do. It's difficult for me. I've had enemies. Most of us have. And to pray for our enemies is a difficult thing. But if you do it, I think you'll find yourself in a better place and in a better mindset. Number three, pray the rosary. If you're not sure what the rosary is a collection of beads that looks like a necklace. It has a cross and a few beads, and then it has 5 collections of 10 beads each, separated by another bead. So the 10, so for each stanza of 10 beads, we say the Hail Mary. For the middle beads, we say the Glory be to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And then we say the mystery of the rosary that we're on. And then we say the Our Father, and then we move on to the next 10 beads. This is a way to connect with the Blessed Virgin Mary, who gave birth to Jesus Christ, who came to earth to forgive us for our sins. And it will help you to calm your soul, calm your spirit. And who knows, maybe even she can pray for you to the Lord to have him help you during your difficult time. Again, you may not believe in this. I do. But I will tell you this. I will tell you this. I have said the rosary throughout my life, not very often, but just in the last year, even after I lost my job, I really didn't go, say the rosary often. Only really when something really bad happened. But just in the last year, I committed to praying the rosary every single day. Well, at least every business day. On the weekends, I don't. I don't know why, but I don't. Because for me, it's a way to get through the business day. My business day, my weekdays are all about career, job search. And so for me, it's not only a break from all the job search stuff, but it's also a way for me to get away from that and focus on what's more important, which is my connection with Jesus Christ. So if you have the time and commitment, pray the rosary. And if you can, pray it every single day. If you don't know how to pray the rosary, Google it, how to pray the rosary. If you don't have a rosary, Google it. Where can I buy a rosary? Number 4, go to church, go to confession, go to adoration. I have gone to church much more frequently since I joined my choir. I went to church sporadically before that, but since I joined the choir, I've gone to church much more frequently, pretty much every Saturday or Sunday. I go to confession not as often as I should, not as often as I'd like to, but it's a good thing. That's where we go to confess our sins to the Lord, to have him forgive us for our sins, clean our soul, so that if we so happen to die before, whenever we die, we have confessed our sins. The more often we do that, the cleaner our soul is, and the more we believe is higher is the probability that we will make it to heaven. There's a whole lot of theology on that. I'm not going to get into that, but going to confession will be a good thing. Get that off your chest, and you'll feel lighter. Trust me. Adoration is where we sit in prayer in front of the Holy Eucharist, the Blessed Sacrament, as it's also called. And we just sit in prayer, and we just be in the presence of the Lord. And that can help you to calm your soul and to get your mind off the other things that you're worried about right now, and just allow you to get rid of the stress and the negative energy in your body, in your mind, in your soul. Number 4, read the Bible. This is a book of readings, actually a book of books, really, that stretches all the way back to the creation of the world, which is what we Catholics believe. And it has a lot of really strange stories, a lot of really weird, crazy stories, but all the books have some kind of lesson to learn. It talks about what happens when people go wrong, what happens when people turn away from God, what happens when people turn toward God, what happens when people believe in God, what happens when people trust in God, what happens when people do certain things, how to live a certain way. And of course, that's the Old Testament. The New Testament is, the things that Jesus Christ taught us to do, to live a better way, to have a better life, and to ultimately find ourselves living in eternity with Jesus in heaven. So read the Bible. I read the Bible every day when I can, again during the week, and I try to read 3 chapters a day. It's not much, but hey, 10 or 15 minutes of your time is worth it to sit down, read the Bible, read the scripture, read the Word of God, allow it to seep into your soul and to start to influence your life, and you will find yourself better able to deal with your situation. Number 6, read other religious books. There's countless religious books out there. I would suggest Matthew Kelly. He has some good books. Ascension Press has some good books. Bishop Robert Barron has some good books. Who else? Those are the main 3. There's many, many religious books out there that you can find. Number 7, watch religious shows, movies, and documentaries. They'll get you closer to the faith and help you to understand it more. And it could be Catholicism, it could be Judaism, it could be Islam, whatever your religion is, help you learn your religion and get closer to your faith and get closer to God, and help you to hopefully get some help from him, because we often find ourselves, especially when you're unemployed, where you feel like nothing can help you except God. So get closer to him by watching shows, movies, and documentaries. Number 8, forgive people. Like I mentioned before, pray for your enemies and your persecutors, but forgive them too. Again, it's hard to do, but I will say, it's really amazing when you see on the news that somebody killed somebody, and then a few days later, the family comes out and says, we forgive the person that killed our daughter or our son or our father or our mother or our grandmother or our grandfather or our granddaughter or our grandson. It really is amazing how often this happens. Those people are people that have heard from Jesus that we need to forgive our enemies. They've heard it, and they're putting that into practice. If somebody who lost a loved one to somebody who murdered them can forgive the murderer, you can forgive people who have persecuted you. And I need to work on that too. Number 9, cut back on vices. Alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, pornography, even sports, if it's too much, food, whatever the case may be, whatever your vice is, cut back. Maybe you need to cut way back. Maybe you cut back completely and cut it completely out of your life. These vices are bad for you anyway, at least if it's too much. In moderation, some of them are okay, but some of them are bad in any amount. I think you know what I'm talking about. But cut back on your vices, and that will help you to get closer to God. And number 10, offer up your sufferings to Jesus. We Catholics and Christians believe that Jesus suffered and died on the cross for our sins, so that he may rise from the dead 3 days later, so that we may believe that he is a Son of God and that he has the power to forgive us for our sins. So Jesus suffered immensely for us. The least we can do is offer up our sufferings to Jesus. If you're suffering from a job loss, money problems, marriage problems, you lost a loved one, you have a health problem, problems with your house, your car, whatever the case may be, offer up your sufferings to Jesus, and that will take that off of your soul and put it where it can be more easily dealt with by Jesus. Offer your sufferings to Jesus, and he will take the burden off of your shoulders. Maybe for a little time, maybe for a long time. And you know what? Maybe it won't work at all. It really just depends. Can't say that's going to work all the time. Can't say it's going to work for everybody, but give it a try. Maybe it will help. Okay, folks, that is the end of my 100 tips on how to stay sane during unemployment. I had no idea it would take this long, but if you're still here and listening to this, I'm glad you are. We are now on to number 101. The 101st way to stay sane during unemployment, drum roll please, is this. Enjoy simply being. What do I mean by this? Well, if you're listening to this webinar, you are alive. You have the ability to enjoy many things that God has created or that God has put in your life. Birds flying in the air and chirping, squirrels running around your yard munching on a nut or a chipmunk, bunnies bouncing around, fish swimming in the water, clouds drifting by across the sun, stars and the moon at night, fresh green grass and beautiful, colorful flowers, bees pollinating the flowers, trees growing on the leaves, fresh air, water, food. There are so many things that we can enjoy because we're alive. But really what I mean by this is just enjoy the simple fact that you can still breathe. Just go sit on your deck or your porch or your steps someday and either look up at the sky or close your eyes and just breathe. This will help to calm you immensely. It will help to take your mind off of all that you are suffering. It will help to relax your body and your mind and your soul. And it will help you to have the energy and the fortitude to do the things you need to do after you have taken this time to sit and quiet. The more space, the more silence you have in your life, the easier it is to deal with the noise. If all you're doing is dealing with the noise from sunup to sundown, that can be very, very toxic. I'll end this webinar with a story with a friend of mine. Several years ago, he lost his job, and he was in such a bad situation that he ended up having to move in with his friend and sleep on their basement couch. The day after he lost his job, when he woke up, his friend said, "What are you going to do now?" And his answer was, "Well, first, I'm going to breathe." How simple that is, but how huge just focusing on breathing, how huge can that be to help you get perspective on the situation you're going through right now? And finally, I just want to say that my way of simply being was either to just sit on my deck with my eyes closed during the day and listen to all the wildlife and the sounds of nature, or at night, just sitting back, putting my head back in my chair and looking at the stars and the moon and just wondering and just taking in life. Enjoy simply being. Well, my friends, we've come to the end of this webinar. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for staying this long. I hope it's been beneficial for you. I hope these tips can help you to get through unemployment while staying sane. And I truly, from the bottom of my heart, hope that your unemployment lasts as short as possible, that you find a job as soon as possible, that you find a good job where you can do what you like, where you can do something meaningful, where you can be with good people, you can be with a good organization, and you can find a place where you can learn, develop, and grow and help other people with your talents, skills, abilities, and gifts. That is my hope for you, because that is my hope for myself. I think we can all agree that if we found those things in a career, we could be very, very happy. Thank you for listening. God bless all of you, and I wish you the very best of luck. And if you have any questions, you can certainly find me online. You can just Google my name, Ed Cashmark, find my website, and drop a note on my website. There's a join button for joining the community, or a feedback button you can find there too. Thank you for listening. Take care. Be well.